Hi again, juicers. We're back with the Pinterest 101 videos. And this video, I'm going to explain how to optimize your Pinterest account so that when somebody new sees your account, that they know exactly what they're going to get from it, and they're going to be more likely to follow you and engage in your content. So, how to optimize your Pinterest account for engagement. The first thing you want to do is go to your profile page and update your profile. Most of us, when we opened our Pinterest account, just filled in the information as quickly as we could so that we could get our account. Now it's the time to go back into that profile and really do some thoughtful commentary, thoughtful additions to what you've written there. So you want to change the name of your account, and Pinterest is lovely and does not have much of a restriction on how many characters you can use for your Pinterest account name. So I included on mine, for example, my name, Margot Madison, and then I also included More Creative Juice because I wanted to be sure that people understood that this was also, I was also pinning for the business More Creative Juice. So change your title or your business name to reflect what it is you are, so that people are clear as soon as they get there. Yes, I'm at the right place. Then you want to go into um, your profile description and include a location. Pinterest likes it when you include a location. You can add a link to your website. Make sure that you have a link to your website in there. And also use in your description what your Pinterest account is going to be about. People will actually read that. They'll very quickly look at your pin boards, but they'll also read it. So I included things about creativity and creative entrepreneurs. I introduced myself, that I'm a designer and that I'm the host of More Creative Juice. So I try to incorporate very briefly who I am and what I'm going to be pinning about. It is perfectly acceptable to use your common talkable language. There's no need to be formal with social media. You just want to be very, very clear and very engaging. So bring your personality in, and I know that you have one, so go ahead and bring that in. Then you're going to want to start actively using Pinterest. Make some boards and pin to them. Some people ask me, how do you get your pins from your Pinterest? So you can pin from within Pinterest. Pin what you see in your feed, do a search for new content, and start pinning images to your different boards. You can also pin from other websites. I'm sure that you've noticed, if you've been on a blog or an online store, if you hover over the image, it will have a little pin icon. So you click on that. That will connect that pin to your boards. You can select what your boards are. I've got a video tutorial on exactly how to do that, but you can pin from other websites. And then you can pin from your own website and blog. Keep in mind, if you do not have your own blog or website, you cannot pin from Facebook and you cannot pin from Instagram. So if you've been on the fence about whether you should have your own website or blog or web presence, that might be a good indicator that it's time to start doing that, because if you pin from your blog, then you can get people to go to your blog. That's how you increase your traffic. However, having said that, do not panic or give up right now or feel like, oh my God, now everything's wrong. You can do a lot on your Pinterest account without having a website or blog. So don't let that stop you. Keep moving forward, but keep in mind it's always, always better to have your own website and web source to which you can send people and potentially sell from. Then you're going to want to start thinking about what kind of boards you think will be useful, first of all, to you. You can do it personally, but when you start thinking about it for your business, think about how you can leverage your expertise to inspire other people. I like to use this example from Sin Thomas, who created a board of cocktail recipes. and she's collected various recipes. Clearly she makes her own, so a lot of these are from her, but you do not always have to pin your own stuff, and you shouldn't always pin your own stuff. Find really inspirational and useful content. Do not hesitate to put that onto your board. It's a community, and you should treat Pinterest as such. It's not all about you, it's about sharing information. And the more useful you are as a pinner and an expert in your niche, your niche product or your niche service, the more useful and the more popular you're going to get within Pinterest. Then you're going to offer expert advice. So one of my favorite juicer accounts is Karen Smith, who owns a beautiful villa in Italy. She uses Pinterest as a resource for her potential people, for potential renters for the villa, and she offers such useful information that only she knows because she's been there and she understands the area. So in this case, Pinterest users are going to be planning a vacation, and maybe they're looking at 5 different areas, and one of them happens to be where her villa is. They can, or if they're even interested in looking at her villa, they can go to her Pinterest account and start planning their vacation from her villa. And what that does is it makes the pinner feel way more comfortable about her product than they were 20 minutes ago before they had seen all this information. So now they can plan, they feel comfortable, and really the next step is just to pull the trigger and rent the location. So you want to think about what kind of expert advice you can offer about your product that you sell. It might be a tutorial on how to use it. It might be products that enhance your product. It might show your product in action. Offer all of that advice onto your boards, because that decreases, or I should say it increases, the comfort zone where people might go from "I've never heard of this before" to "wow, I really understand what this is and I'm super excited to buy it," and boom, you've just got a sale. Also, collect products that help your customers that may not have anything to do with you. I used Pinterest, or I still use Pinterest for my invitation customers as a way of collecting visual data and sharing it with each other. So, for instance, when I was in the wedding industry, and well, I'll just use actually Grace's bat mitzvah as an example. I was working with the mom and Grace, and we were talking about what we liked and what Grace liked for her bat mitzvah invitation. So in the items that we collected with each other, we shared the board. We both could pin to it and look at it. We shared ideas about what we liked and what we thought would be good for the entire event. Even though I was just doing invitations, it's a really helpful tool for my clients and really built their trust that I was in on the project and I understood the scope of the project, and I was able to offer myself as a helpful resource for additional items that they could use. And it also helped me understand more clearly, because it's with pictures rather than with words, what they were thinking about. So I always laugh, someone might say, "Well, I really like pink." Well, from a designer's perspective, there are about 30,000 shades of pink, and I want to know which one you like. And you can do that very easily with pictures. And Pinterest is going to have everything that I need to really understand my clients and my customers. So you can even use and make boards that are specific to a single customer. It's not always just about, again, collecting what you want or what you think someone else will want. You can really use Pinterest to your advantage as a tool with your clients. This is the big thing. So use keywords. And what are keywords? Keywords are words or phrases that are used to search for specific content. Remember when I told you that when I would start a project, let's say I was doing a pink invitation for a garden wedding, I would go into Pinterest while I was thinking for my customer and thinking of new ideas, and I would search pink wedding invitation, and I would search country weddings, and I would get just a whole slew of great ideas that I found really inspirational for my project that could help me work that out. Now, what I was doing, searching for garden wedding ideas, that is garden wedding ideas, what I typed in, what I wanted to find out is a key phrase. It's a keyword that you want to be very aware of in your niche. What would somebody use? What would somebody type in if they were looking for your product? And it's not always going to be I'm looking for Margot Madison creative. That's not what they're looking for. We're starting with a very broad subject matter, such as wedding invitations, and then you can get more specific. So you start with the search inquiry on the left. You're going to see, here's my example of framing ideas. And then what I love is that Pinterest is doing what Google also does. They will show you other popular searches that are similar to what you're doing. So you can see here that there are framing ideas, and then they went more specific: framing ideas for photos, framing ideas DIY, framing ideas picture creative, and then they even go and show you boards that might have all this information. So if I was looking for framing ideas, I could both, oh, actually I did, I'm looking for framing ideas, but yeah, they are actually for photos. So I can select that and have a more useful search. Again, Pinterest is trying to make the user experience awesome and very unfrustrating. And then once you select your item, you can go and then they'll have what they call enhanced search options, enhanced search words. So I typed in framing ideas. The enhanced search includes DIY or wall, picture, quotes for photos, creative crafts. You can go on through this whole specificity of framing ideas. That is, keywords are search words. So I'm showing you these two things because that is how you're going to figure out what your keywords are in your niche and with regard to the pinned product that you're adding to your boards. So you can also use those keywords in your Pinterest profile. You saw that in the search, you saw some boards that had it. Well, those boards used those keywords, framing ideas, so that they could be found. You want to do the same thing with your business profile, your Pinterest profile. Include those keywords in both the name of your account and then also in your description. And you can see here Kara's party ideas. She is very clear about what she's offering. They're party ideas. And she's saying party supplies, party book, tutorials, recipes, and more. Those are keywords that she is probably very aware of what people type in when they're searching for party supplies. So she's taking advantage of human curiosity and putting them into her business plan so that she gets found. It's really just a matter of getting found. It's not even playing the system. You just want to be found for what you know and what you offer. You want to use those keywords in your Pinterest board titles. If your boards are purely personal and you don't care if anybody finds what's in there or not, do not worry about what you're naming them. I have friends who love to creatively name their Pinterest boards, and if they're personal, you can do whatever you want. However, in business, it's all about being found and all about being super clear about what you're offering. So use those keywords in your Pinterest boards that you're going to attract customers to. In this example, it's got fast family meals. So if I was Googling, or if I was Pinterest searching, shoot, I need some fast family meals. This board is more likely to come up than one called stuff Judy eats yesterday. So that's kind of a silly example, but you get what I'm saying. You want to be very clear about how people can find you, and you can edit your board titles and your board descriptions just by clicking the little gear icon in your board. So definitely make sure that you've got your keywords in your Pinterest board titles and in your Pinterest board descriptions. Again, great idea. She's going a collection of cocktails, mocktails, non-alcoholic drink recipes, and more. Those are keywords where people probably would be searching. I'm searching for mocktails, and she is much more likely to pop up in that search than if somebody was less specific about what was inside that board, or didn't write anything at all, which frankly happens a lot. We just kind of keep going and don't intentionally work these little angles that will really help your business. So put those keywords in your Pinterest board description, put them in your image captions, be specific about what is in there. Don't just do a default. Don't do a default with the name of your photo, which might be a series of letters and numbers. You do not need to put, you can put a copyright if you want. Don't put a link in there. There's not really going to be a link. You can put a website, but you would want to use that as your live link. So don't bother with any of that stuff. Just describe what it is. They will be able to find you. By the way, Pinterest links all of these pins directly to a website. So you don't need to worry about typing that in there. You'd be more effective if you were descriptive. You also want to correctly name the images on your website and your blog. And I've got a completely different tutorial for this. This is definitely a game that you need to understand and learn how to play. And it takes some time. It's not hard. It just takes a little bit of effort and a little bit of thoughtfulness. But when somebody pins from your blog or your website to Pinterest, the default caption is going to be the name of that image. And how many of us just have an image name that says ABFG photo riff, something that just makes no sense at all because it didn't matter to us at the time. We were just trying to upload our image to our friggin' website and get that done. Well, Google and Pinterest both utilize the name of the image as a way of a search function. So here's an example. So for this image here with the little emoji pots, I started with DIY kids party decor because that's really what it is. Emoji flower pots because people are more likely to search for DIY kids party decor. Then I get more specific emoji flower pots, and then you would want to put the actual name, maybe your name of your business there, and this will carry over into the Pinterest pin. If someone were on your website and wanted to pin that to their board, that's going to carry over. And most people don't replace their caption, so you're better off doing it for them. You'll get more leverage from your search process if you do it that way. A good idea when pinning from your blog is to include a brief, very brief summary or quote from the article that relates to the theme of your board. Why are you pinning this here? What information is important to the user? Also, make a great image that is eye-catching and emotionally connects with your board theme, and then link directly to your blog article, not just your website. So what I mean by that is that you could go to your blog feed and pin from that blog feed, that general blog feed that has all of your blog posts on it. That will just basically take it to the page. What is more effective and more useful for a user is if you click on the actual blog post where it's a single blog post, pin from there, because that will send them directly to that specific blog post and they don't have to search for it anymore. You want to make everything as easy as possible. Now, next we are going to talk about how to make great pinnable images, and so stay tuned for the next video in the Pinterest 101 series. Talk to you soon.